This is for Irv, who is homesick, and we love him dearly, and we wish him all the best of health and happiness. The first one is a poem called Alchemy in G's Bend. Mothers and daughters, sisters and cousins and aunts, the women of G's Bend, Alabama, attended their own community school, a kind of Alabama academy, where they learned from each other how to make quilts. Slaves and descendants of slaves, generation after generation, learned to thread a needle, to piece together scraps of fabric, to mix and match colors, to create a theme and develop that theme, and to incorporate everything into a singular quilt, which when used as a bed cover or a floor cover or a window cover or a wall cover, would keep out perhaps the tiniest amount of unrelenting cold. Somewhere along the way, their pieces became art, complexities of color, cut, and line on a world level of design, traveling far beyond the unsuccessful alchemists of old. The G's Bend women turned the merest scraps to gold. Irv Orenstein, 2008. And this is by Irv Orenstein, October 2007, and it's entitled My Dog Tags. I am not a careful, disciplined saver. I may accumulate various items of varying size and importance, such as an important tax receipt. But once I file, that is, bury something, only the most exhaustive, painstaking search ever brings it to the surface again. Clutter is my passion. I'm hopelessly sloppy. The people in my office once printed and put on my desk a sign that read, "An empty desk is the sign of an empty mind." One of my rationalizations is that I am not concerned with the biggest possible picture, only the critical area. That's the area that a painter or a photographer, or for that matter, a writer, is supposed to be most interested in. Whatever the truth of it, I was hard-pressed to locate an item that could make me hark back to something I might write about, to satisfy our writing class assignment. After much digging, I stumbled on Army dog tags issued in June 1948. I joined the Army with a number of other 18-year-olds seeking God knows what, females probably. We were Truman troopers, 1 year of active service and then forever in the reserves. Our dog tags were among the first things given to us. In addition to carrying our names, serial numbers, religious persuasions, blood types, etc., our dog tags all had notches in them, giving rise to some speculation. They wedge them in your teeth, someone said. Nah, they tie them to your toes, said another expert. Better not lose them, the sergeant said, ending the discussion. From then on, we wore the dog tags around our necks on a cheap chain. We wore them everywhere. During the first of my 2 not consecutive Army hitches, I carried my dog tags probably 40,000 miles or more. My first trip was on a troop train to Fort Lewis, Washington, near Seattle, where we were given basic training. The train ride began just 7 days after I showed up for Army service. The train consisted of dozens of battered old coaches and baggage cars. The 3,000-mile trip took 6 nights and 5 days. Our train was repeatedly sidetracked in deference to really important trains, like those transporting pigs or cattle. In Fort Lewis, I was placed in the Tank Corps of the 2nd Armored Division, formerly the 2nd Cavalry Division, in the days when horses were important. Given my claustrophobia, I can't say that I was thrilled to serve inside a rolling coffin, although I did take some pride in it, as a tank was one of General Patton's favorite conveyances. After some months, a notice was posted on the company bulletin board advising that there were openings in the 2nd Division Band. Since I could play the clarinet, I decided to apply and was accepted. I thought band work would be easy, but it wasn't. On the days we weren't playing for some visiting brass or arriving troops, or one minor military ceremony or another, playing and marching in the wind and rain, we rehearsed endlessly in a barely heated hall. Sometimes our leader, a certain warrant officer Frank, a musical martinet, would have us play the same few bars of music over and over for half an hour or longer. So there I was, out of the frying pan, the tank corps, and into the fire, the 2nd Division Band. I began to understand why there had been openings. One day, Deus ex machina, a general from headquarters came in with a gift for the band, a complete set of bagpipes, kilts, and all the accoutrements, and a single request that we do him proud and form a bagpipe band so that he could show his Scottish counterpart and benefactor that Americans could too play the bagpipes. As a ranking clarinetist, I was ordered to be part of this group, the very first American Army bagpipe band. It turned out that I loved it. Learning to play the bagpipes was, for me, easy. Actually, playing them was hard. A bagpipe consists of first a bag of some kind to hold the air you blow into it. And you can squeeze against your body to prolong the flow. In early times, that bag was usually an animal hide or possibly a sheep's belly. In modern times, the bag might be leather or something man-made. Next, there's a chanter with 7 finger holes to play some 7 different notes. And finally, the killer, 3 upright drones that emit 3 constant tones, so long as there is air coming out of the bag. Keeping the bag full of air requires lungs of steel and constant blowing. Being young and strong is helpful. Being tenacious, determined, and a glutton for punishment is a must. You've got to keep blowing while fingering notes and marching correctly, always keeping your place and your pace. I can't figure out why I loved it, but I did. I actually transposed a good many songs into bagpipe music. The Colonel Boogie March Patrol, the Liberty Bell March, You're a Grand Old Flag, Yankee Doodle, and When the Saints Go Marching In, to name a few. Gary Owen was already a favorite, as was, and a march leader were creating sounds the American Army had never before. We were quite good. The Army flew to Japan, Hawaii, Scotland, New York City, where my parents were able to see me in action. Back to Seattle again, with many points between. We played military bases, government complexes, even high schools. We were the cat's meow. We even sounded like the cat's meow. From time to time, the question arose, what did we really wear under our kilts? Like the Scots, with many a smile and many a wink, we gave a variety of answers, all of them truthful. No one ever asked about our dog tags.